हिंदी इंग्लिश मिक्स करूंगा, मुझे लगता है आप दोनों स्पीकर हमारे हिंदी बेल्ट से हैं, सो चलेगा।
मैं भी हिंदी इंग्लिश मिक्स करके ही,
मैं इंडियन को थोड़ा कनेक्ट करना चाह रहा हूँ।
हाँ श्योर, बहुत जरूरी है, सबसे पहले तो उन्हीं का है।
हेलो एंड गुड इवनिंग, स्वागत है आपको द पॉलिसी टाइम्स के ग्लोबल पॉलिसी वेब टॉक सीरीज के इस लाइव खास मुलाकात में। और द पॉलिसी टाइम्स भारत का पहला एक पॉलिसी और डेवलपमेंट जर्नलिज्म को प्रमोट करते हुए एक मीडिया कम स्ट्रेटेजिक थिंक टैंक है। और हमारा एक ही लक्ष्य है कि हमारे इस काम के जरिए हम अपने देश के लिए और दुनिया के और तमाम देशों के लिए डेवलपमेंट यानी प्रगति हासिल कर पाए। और डेवलपमेंट किसी भी देश का फाउंडेशन होता है। आप कोई भी देश अगर आप देखें, यूरोप और अमेरिका, आसियान कंट्रीज, चाहे सिंगापुर आप ले लें, चाइना रिसेंटली दुनिया में ग्लोबल एग्जांपल सेट किया है, ये सब कंट्री जो तरक्की किया है, तरक्की करने का एक पैटर्न रहता है। और उस तरक्की का पैटर्न का जो सेंट्रलिटी बोलेंगे या सेंट्रल जो रहता है वो है पॉलिसी, यानी नीति जो देश बनाती है। तो हम लोग सरकार के पार्टनर के तौर पे इन नीतियों को एनालिसिस करना चाहते हैं, समझना चाहते हैं, और इस फील्ड के जो एक्सपर्ट हैं उनके साथ इस गुफ्तगू के दौरान और साथ में बिजनेस नेटवर्किंग और बिजनेस प्रमोशन के दौरान हम एक बेसिक डेवलपमेंट का फ्रेमवर्क का हिस्सा बनना चाहते हैं। और इन तमाम डेवलपमेंट के मुद्दे में सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट जो सब्जेक्ट और मुद्दा है जिस पे अक्सर हमारे जैसे देश जो डेवलपिंग है या इमर्जिंग है जो नजरअंदाज करते हैं, वो है सस्टेनेबिलिटी। सस्टेनेबिलिटी आप वर्ल्ड यूनाइटेड नेशन के सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स के बारे में सुने होंगे और वहीं से सस्टेनेबिलिटी के बारे में आपने सुने होंगे कि किस तरह से एसडीजीज एक नया गोल सेट किया है। उनके अलावा भी जो रिसाइकलिंग है, यानी प्लास्टिक यानी और भी जो मटेरियल हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं, किस तरह से उसकी रीयूज किया जाए, क्योंकि एक बार इस्तेमाल करने के प्लास्टिक की लाइफ साइकिल लाइफ शेल्फ बहुत बड़ा होता है। हमारे साथ एक्सपर्ट हैं, वो डिटेल्स में बात करेंगे। आज का सस्टेनेबिलिटी हमारा एक कोर प्रायोरिटी है और आज का जो मुद्दा हमने उठाया है कि किस तरह से फ्रॉम वेस्ट टू वेल्थ कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं। प्लास्टिक वेस्ट हो, चाहे वो प्लास्टिक हो या और भी कुछ हो, खास करके आज हम फोकस करेंगे प्लास्टिक पे। ये प्लास्टिक हमारे जिंदगी का एक इंटीग्रल पार्ट है, हम इसके अलावा जी नहीं सकते। लेकिन किस तरह से उस प्लास्टिक के यूज को हम एक ब्लेसिंग्स बना सकते हैं, उसकी रीयूजेबल कैपेसिटी को बढ़ा के और उसके अच्छे यूज लाके। और इसी मुद्दे में बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट 3 खास मेहमान हैं। हमारे साथ हैं मोहम्मद शमीम खान साहब, जो EHS हेड हैं पर्सनल केयर प्रोडक्ट्स बिजनेस के, हरिद्वार बेस्ड हैं, ITC लिमिटेड का, भारत का सबसे बड़े नामी FMCG कंपनियों में से एक हैं। और हमारे साथ 2 एक्सपर्ट जुड़े हैं एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से, अक्षय रथ जी को मैं स्वागत करना चाहता हूँ, चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑफिसर हैं EcoEggs के, और पुनीत कुश जी जो चीफ टेक्नोलॉजी ऑफिसर हैं और हेड ऑफ ऑपरेशंस हैं EcoEggs के, जो टेक्नोलॉजी और पूरे बिजनेस के टेक्नोलॉजी पार्ट को संभालते हैं। EcoEggs एक डिजिटल मार्केट प्लेस है रिसाइकलर के, और किस तरह से डिजिटली, क्योंकि डिजिटल ही फ्यूचर है अगर हम बात करें, और किस तरह से EcoEggs जैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस भारत के रिसाइकलिंग सेक्टर को एक अलग शक्ल दे सकते हैं, वो भी हम समझेंगे और जानेंगे। सबसे पहले मैं स्वागत करना चाह रहा हूँ हमारे तीनों गेस्ट के, और पहला मैं इंट्रोडक्शन लेना चाहूँगा। तो इंट्रोडक्शन में आप थोड़ा सा अपना प्रोफेशनल करियर और फिर आपके जर्नी और कुछ सक्सेस स्टोरीज उसके बारे में बताएं। सबसे पहले रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ मैं शमीम जी को, आपके बारे में थोड़ा सा इंट्रोडक्शन दें।
Good evening, Akram ji. First of all, I want to thank you to giving me the opportunity to join the screen with you and the experienced persons like Puneet ji and Akshaya ji. If I am talking about myself, so I belongs to a very remote place, Pratapgarh in UP. And I have started my professional career from 2007 in FMCG Haldiram Manufacturing Company. Then I switched to, I also served Hindustan National Glass, the India's largest glass container manufacturing company. Then I also got opportunity to serve Schneider Electric, the Luminous Power Technologies, India's second battery manufacturing company. And now it is my pleasure that I'm a part of ITC team, a very, means to say that बहुत ही इनोवेटिव टीम जिसको मैं बोलूँगा ITC Limited, and टोटल अप्रोक्सीमेटली आई एम हैविंग 14 साल हो गया मुझे, 14 साल इस फील्ड में काम करते हुए। थैंक यू सो मच स्क्रीन एंड ऑल। तो ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लेते हुए मैं पुनीत जी को,
थैंक यू। So I will go to Puneet ji first because I will start the discussion with Akshay ji. So Akshay ji फिर लास्ट में इंट्रोडक्शन के साथ साथ वो बेसिक इंट्रोडक्शन भी दे सकते हैं to the subject, to the theme. So Puneet ji, a brief introduction.
Thank you Akram ji. Thank you Shameem sir. Thank you Akshay ji. I am Puneet Kush, basically a technology guy trying to help and trying to make this world better through the technology. I had been part of many organizations like ICICI Bank and tried to implement multiple products over there. I had been also a consultant to Government of India and fortunate to get chance to work closely with the 5 to 6 MMPs out of 27 MMPs which were rolled out in 2002-3. And I'd been part of E-District wherein I went to some 45 districts. I studied there, talked to the people, tried to find out their problem and give them a digital solution wherein the citizen-centric services can be provided to the citizen through digital mode. And to extend this particular thing, then I worked with panchayats. So I had been to Seven Sisters at Northeast and worked there with the panchayats, remote panchayats, international panchayat, national panchayat, and basically the border panchayats. So we extended the citizen-centric services to those people, and we wanted to meet the last person at the line. And we implemented some infrastructure projects also with Government of India like SWAN, statewide area network, state data center. So these type of projects I worked with. Then I moved to operation part and I worked with e-procurement software for government organizations. I had been with Siemens India and we implemented at many places, Central Coalfields Limited and MRPL, Bangalore Refinery. So there are multiple places we have implemented this. After that, I joined cardekho.com and tasted the B2C flavor of the digital era and try to automate the journey of car buying for a customer. And after that, I started up and did one or two projects in agriculture. But being a guy, when I used to see the plastic littering on the roads and all, it gives me a feel that okay, I should do something digitally so that we can give away with this part of thing. Fortunately, I got to work with Mr. Akshaya and Mr. Nimit on this particular thing. Mr. Nimit comes from this particular background. Since 10 or 12 years, he is working in recycling industry. I got to work on this. I'm right now a part of EcoEx since 2 years and trying to change the particular scenario and landscape through technology. I'm having 17 plus of experience in total, and in plastic waste, I'm working for 2 years.
Great, great. So, हमारे साथ शामीम जी, coming from the environmental issue EHS sector, starting from battery till now FMCG product, or Puneet ji having deep experience and knowledge about technology, 17 years. Now I'll come to the leader of EcoEx, Akshaya ji. Akshaya ji, small introduction, और वहाँ से then going to the subject, because we are going to discuss about how can we convert waste, especially plastics, into wealth, because that is something which will be a game changer for a nation like India if we can recycle the entire plastic consumption that we have in the country. And there are a lot of innovative ways now. We are already on the journey. So Akshay ji, over to you.
Hi, thank you, Akram ji. Good evening, Shameem ji and Puneet. Let me first say Akram ji is doing a pretty good job, and I think one of very unique kind of platform which gives basically a lot of ideas and revolves around policies which in the long run will help government to implement certain innovative programs, and which can also get feedback from the industry by interacting with industry regularly, that I have been seeing for last 1 year or so. So thank you very much for that. Coming back to my professional background, I have been in IT industry for 20 plus years. From day one, I always like to be in a niche space wherein the impact of the software, which can be very much beneficial to the entire community or city here in country. So for a span of almost 20 years, I worked with e-procurement implementation projects for most of the government entities in India. The first e-procurement project we did for government of Andhra Pradesh under Mr. Naidu, the new Chief Minister, and got Golden Icon Award from Government of India, and the best implemented e-procurement project in India, and which has got a lot of recognitions from abroad, including World Bank. And I am the one of those first group of people who introduced strategic sourcing, that is reverse auctions and forward auctions to Indian market. And primarily the focus in earlier days was with public sector companies, by keeping in mind the nitty-gritties and integrity of public procurement policy. So in a nutshell, I will say I was part of a team implementing e-procurement in almost 50 odd PSUs and 14 odd state governments in India.
Excellent.
So I could see there is a requirement to scale up the way government is handling to manage plastic waste. As this subject today was selected for plastic, we are not getting into other waste products. In plastic waste, if you look at Mr. Puneet will have figures who can talk about the quantity, what we are doing, what we are recycling, what are not recycling. But for common people who are going to watch this video, for them I'll say in a broad category, if I say plastic can be divided into two parts or two categories. One is recyclable, another is non-recyclable, but in very simple terms. What is recyclable? Which is can be given a new shape. And it's not recyclable, it has to be punched. It needs to be incinerated. And the incineration can be done in multiple places. It could be a cement plant, it could be a waste to energy plant, it could be waste to oil, or it could be a road construction segment. Coming back to the efforts what the government has put in, which may sound little nonsense today, that plastic waste management rule came in 2016, wherein government come out with a thought which is in sync with what is going globally also, and a new term called extended producer responsibility, or EPR. The underlying principle or belief is the producer who has made plastic available to the consumers, he has to collect back those plastics what he has introduced and channelize them either by recycling or by incinerating. And there are punitive measures government has come out with, where even to the extent of closing down the operations of factories are possible, and the power is given to Pollution Control Board. So with that background, a company, or primarily if you say the most of the plastics or larger part of percentage of plastic are being used by FMCG companies. So most of the companies, they have given two options. Option A, you collect back by using your own distribution channel through a refund scheme, which probably didn't have a buy-in from the industry because that is not their core area of competency. Second option given to them is to engage a third-party agency, which is called as a waste management agent, who in turn, by using their organized network with consent from respective urban local bodies, can collect, transport to recycling unit or to other incinerating unit with proof of documents, and the same to be submitted to Central Pollution Control Board, and who in turn keeps on monitoring the quantity or grade of plastic which is been taken out from the environment or to put into the end of life process. So we found if we want to really scale up the process, there are two things which can be made available to the stakeholders. One is, instead of an agency who may have limited access to limited geography or states, why can't we have a portal and register all the government approved recyclers, waste collectors, and ULBs, and put them under one roof and offer a one-stop shop to the FMCG companies like ITC, wherein the brand owner, or typically the term used is called PBOs, PIBOs, producers, importers, and brand owners, will have an opportunity to A, evaluate, B, engage, C, transact, D, get the manifest as a proof of meeting EPR obligation. So with that in mind, we started last year, but unfortunately because of pandemic, we couldn't do much. But in last 6 months, we have progressed to a stage wherein I'm proud to say that we have almost close to 27 recyclers based from different states in India, and almost 20 odd waste collectors having more than 46 ULB tie-ups or agreements in place are part of the portal. So we have been talking to the industry, talking to the brand owners, and trying to ease their process of acquiring EPR certificate to meet their respective obligations for a particular grade of plastic and for a particular stage. So, having said that, I will say the way industry perceives today and looks at the opportunities not only in India, globally, waste is no longer a waste. And there are enough scalable cases which has already been proven where the waste has made billions of dollars. There are enough companies who are doing pretty well in waste market. So we at EcoEx are very sure once the guidelines comes from government, which is likely to come in next 2-3 months, there will be a lot of sensitization, a lot of pressure from different industries who are using plastic packaging to be in the ambit of Central Pollution Control Board and completely become plastic neutral.
Right.
It's very difficult to get away from plastic. Plastic is a part of life. So it has been used. It's got so much interesting properties which no other material can replace. So there should be a way out wherein we can recycle, upcycle, or for very low level of plastics, we can downcycle, incinerate them, and not allow them to get into our riverine system or maritime system. With that background, I think I will be happy to hear the different viewpoints and the facts from Mr. Puneet and also from Mr. Shameem. And that's what I thought I will share to start the discussion. Thank you very much, Akram.
Yeah, thank you so much, Akshaya. Wonderful background you have given. And the way how this EcoEggs can be a very nice platform to connect all stakeholders. I'll straight away come to Shameem ji. Shameem ji, given the ITC's background and humongous operation across India and also many parts of the world, how is ITC, if you can talk about a little of ITC's inside background, in terms of what are the best practices you have? How are you, such a big player, recycling a lot of plastics and reusing them in the format, which can be a global case study for the world? So, Shameem ji, over to you.
If I'm talking about the ITC, then there is a one wing of ITC. You can see that Mission Sunehra Kal, if you heard about. The Mission Sunehra Kal is totally for the waste management. And Mission Sunehra Kal has taken approximately, Mission Sunehra Kal have the overall web throughout the India. And throughout India, the responsibility of Mission Sunehra Kal is to collect the waste. And the major consideration is the plastic waste. Collection. And not only by the collection and segregation and transportation to the authorized recycler for the final end. So not only about the industrial waste and all, ITC is doing for the domestic also. ITC has taken the Nagar Panchayat, ITC has taken the Nagar Palika, the segments of Nagar Palika overall for the domestic waste collection from door to door to from door to door collection to the final end products. So if I'm talking about the my experience in the ITC, that in ITC factories, we have completely approximately eliminated single-use plastic, which is the most dangerous. And here it is not a very big word. Personally, I award single-waste plastic management system. So, in which we have done, we have identified complete single-use plastic, which is coming in the packaging material, which is coming in the raw material, which is use any single point of things we have identified, and we have eliminated to enter single-use plastic inside the plant premises. So every plastic has the MLPs, and only selected things which we cannot means to say that we cannot go with that. Only this is acceptable, and 99% of single-use plastic we have eliminated from it. So this is the major step which is taken in Haridwar. And if I'm talking about the what I have just told you, that for the Mission Sunehra, that the collection from door to door, segregation of the plastic waste, transporting to the authorized recycler, and also auditing the third party which is taking the plastic waste. What they are doing, they are recycling in the several formats and all. So this is the overall thing about the ITC, what ITC is doing throughout the India for the plastic waste management.
Right.
And if I'm talking about the plastic waste as a challenge for us, and I appreciate Akshaya ji and Puneet ji for doing these kind of things. When in 1907, when the Mr. Leo, who has invented the plastic, 1907, approximately 100 years back, and the major use of plastic is after Second World War. Before that, it is very controlled. He cannot assume that we will bound in the means to say that in the web of plastic after 100 of years. Initiation of the morning from the plastic toothbrush, and by going in the bed with a cream or in a plastic container, we are totally bounded with the plastic web.
Right.
And before of that, because of so I'm interested in the plastic waste management system, and I'm working on that. And I have also get in touch with Mission Sunehra time to time, and so that I have gone through with that. By 2050, we will have the numbers of plastic more than numbers of fishes in the ocean.
Wow.
This if we have not taken the steps to control the plastic use, and what we are means to say that we are expending on generation of plastic now, we will expend more than that for the disposal. And it is not a very big deal. In 2050 or 2051, you will see that a full of container is transporting by a shuttle to the universe, to the space for the disposal of the plastic, because we don't have the place to keep the plastic waste. So so I appreciate and the steps what the means EcoEx kind of things and all, and you is taking in the new format, because very right now it is very much needed to control to means to say that to use the plastic, like he has just told that after coming our honorable minister, we are going to use the plastic in the road construction and all. And also I am just forgetting the name of a country which is using the plastic bricks. We are making plastic. They are making plastic bricks for the bricks for in place of this normal bricks we are using. They are using for construction of the buildings and all. And it is much more strength. In India, there is a company in Hyderabad. I am just forgetting the name. They are recycling the plastic waste to the plastic tiles, the interlock tiles. You are seeing that in the village and all. The road construction is going on. They are manufacturing the tiles, and they have the life of that plastic tiles is approximately 50 years. If it's pedestrian way. And if it used for the heavy vehicles, then minimum 5 to 10 years, it will go away. And after that, we can recycle this kind of plastic thing 3 to 4 times.
Wow.
So these are the innovative things what we have to do. We have to obtain. We have to go with that, because it is very much needed. Our grandfathers and all and our guardians are giving us what we are living, and they have given a lot of things for us. So we have to do for about our generations. So these all the things, every company in India, every every desktop like Policy Times, and every person like every company like EcoEx and all. I want we have to take the critical actions. We have to take a critical steps to control the plastic right now, because this is the. I was very, I was very, I was very shocked when I see turtle is covered with a plastic. Small fish is used to say occupied in a plastic bottle. So these all the things, which is the alarming situation. We have to go with that. So not taking much time, that for the ITC, we are continuously moving ahead. We are continuously taking the things. We are continuously auditing our research, at what they are doing yearly, half yearly, and what the best thing what we can do and what we can deliver to them to reuse the plastic, to reuse the LPs and.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shameem ji. Excellent overview about what ITC is doing, and Mission Sunera, the way you are collecting waste and segregating it is a very, actually it's a global example, and a lot of MBA schools teaches to their students of how this project is working. And then you gave some examples of how we are making bricks, as well as from plastic waste to bricks, as well as now marble tiles. So tiles is a quite innovative thing. Now I'll come to Puneet ji, giving a little macro overview, because Puneet ji comes from a technical background. So now, what are the innovative use of basically your theme address on the topic converting waste into wealth?
Thank you, sir. And it was great listening to Shameem ji first. Thank you very much for sharing the insight of ITC with us. Let me start from a bit behind the scene, wherein the waste is a very big problem. Handling waste is a very big problem, and generation of waste is very high. So broadly, it is degradable waste and non-degradable. We could handle the degradable waste. We could make it compost and used in organic farming, and we could use it biofuels, and there were energy created out of that. But the non-biodegradable waste was always a worry to everybody, because the non-biodegradable waste does not get degraded easily. And if at all it is going to our landfill, it is basically creating problem to the nearby land also. So that is not fertile. We can see the landfill in Delhi, and there are, nobody knows that there are around 48 landfills in Delhi. And the biggest landfills are Gazipur, Buradi. We can see everywhere. And out of that, the plastic being around 8 to 10% of that particular waste. And we have to actually worry about that, because that, if it gives the shelf life to the product which it gets packaging in, then it is giving us worry to being non-degradable. Hence, it is very important to think it about. Right now, we don't have any other option for packaging. It takes long time. Mr. Shameem ji can tell us that how much strategy and how much planning goes to change any packaging in terms of ITC, and how much money goes in that particular planning, how much effort goes in that particular planning, and the very important part is how much time goes into that planning. So we have to live with it for the time being, but if we can wisely manage it, we could win the war. So the important factor is to wisely manage the plastic waste. How to manage the plastic waste is reduce, which everybody is working. As Shameem ji has said, everybody is working. Reuse, we are trying to do that. Then recycle. Recycling becomes an important part for plastic. As rightly said by Shameem ji, there are multiple ways of recycling it. Akshaya ji also mentioned some of the points. The very first point being the staple fibers. We can create the staple fibers of PET bottles, and then we can use to use that in fashion. Your t-shirts, your trousers, your other stuffs can be created out of that staple fiber. That is being a big market in terms of collection and getting it recycled. But slowly and steadily, we also come up with some other points like waste to energy. Waste to energy is a very important and innovative method of converting plastic into energy. And I would like to mention here two major points. One, when plastic gets converted into the energy, it gets we get the 100% conversion of that, because if you have seen, if you burn a plastic chips packet, you will see that you will not find any ashes out of that or byproduct out of that. Although yes, a bit of air pollution and other norms are there, we have to control that. But yes, when I convert waste to energy, I can tell you with a study that 1 kilogram of plastic can produce 2.25 unit of the electricity. And you can understand the impact of that. If I have 10% of plastic, I have around 10 million tons of plastic generating every year. Although this number is a bit old, right now we would be around 14 million, and by 2026 we would be around 23 24 million of plastic getting generated in India. If we can convert it in energy, you won't believe how much impact it will do on import of the crude oil. When I'm generating energy out of a waste, obviously it will lesser down the crude oil import for me, if not today, down the line sometime, and it will make greater impact on the economy. Secondly, this becomes the very big part of that. We need to put very big plants. We need to tie up with the government to have the land out of there. But apart from the 180-degree, apart from that, there are polylooms also. In the lines of handlooms, we have polylooms now, wherein we are creating fabric out of the plastic with the on handloom line. So there are multiple projects which has been implemented by central environment people in terms of polyloom. But apart from that, as rightly said by Shameem ji, road construction, I'll add to that. That company is KK Plastic. The KK Plastic has their base at Bangalore and Gurgaon both, and they are converting plastic into bricks. They are converting plastic into bricks. Unfortunately, they are one of our partners at EcoEx. Because EcoEx believes in a different type of disposal of the plastic we wanted to have. So, as Akshaya sir rightly said, recyclable plastic we can recycle, but non-recyclable plastic also we want to go to. If I can extract energy, I want it to go to energy plants. If I can extract oil, I want it to go to oil. If I can use it at road construction, so there are two types of road construction which came up from the discussion today. One, wherein it has been mixed with the bitumen and laid down at the road and used in the road construction, as our honorable minister Gadkari Sahab has said, and 700 odd kilometers have been. And secondly, as Shameem sir rightly said about that bricks which can be used at the road. Obviously, there are multiple technology, because when we create the road from plastic, it gets heated easily. So we need to put a chemical in that so that it can lower down the heating percentage when vehicles are running over the road. But you won't believe the impact of mixing plastic in bitumen. As per Government of India, they have allowed 8% of plastic to be mixed with the bitumen to lay roads. And you will not believe that the age of the road becomes at least double if we mix plastic in the road. So there are multiple other types. We are discussing about PET, PET bottles. Everybody is used to say PET bottles, PET booster. We see it, chips, wrappers. We see it everywhere. But your car has bumpers made up of plastic.
Yeah.
Those big materials can be shredded and can be converted, and they can be mixed into bitumen, and they can be used in the road construction. So I can recycle it. So there are PP, LDP. So there is another type of plastic, PVC. So we are not talking about the plastic pipes which we are putting in our home for our water things and other things. So those are also plastic. They have to be considered and they have to be taken care of also. So there are multiple type of, you must have heard about the Waste to Wonder, park in Delhi.
Absolutely.
They have tremendous use of plastic. They have created each and every type of wonder which is present in world, like Taj Mahal and other at the Waste to Wonder plant. You will also appreciate that people are creating furniture out of it, and it is a durable furniture. And I believe if we put that particular furniture in every municipal corporation park, wherein right now iron is getting used, okay, so we can replace that with the furniture and that plastic type, and we can use the plastic in making the furniture. But let me come back to that waste to energy thing, which is right now booming and very important. uh, but before that, the very important part is the segregation. That if we want to make these things happen and run correctly, then segregation is the key. We should not mix the thing, and segregation should come from the house. So the people, we as a citizen, we should know each and everything. We should be aware, and we should be segregating our plastic at the home and then sending it to, like ITC is doing, door to door, then sending it to them, so that the right material, the right raw material should go to the waste to energy plant, so that this operation can be scaled accordingly.
Right.
Operation can be scaled accordingly. Reliance is a very big company, and they are being the very big recycler also. They are a staple fiber recycler. They collect the PET out of the market and they create the cycle. Our parent company becomes the second largest recycler of PET. Our installed capacity is 158,000 metric ton per year, and our operational capacity, due to corona, we are working on 90,000 metric ton per year. We have collected this much PET, and we have created fiber which has been exported. So people are coming up with, I would like to say, bottle to bottle plants. So if there is a brand who is making a concentration, the sugared concentration, and he's packing it in a bottle, sending it to consumer, then collecting back and making the bottle again. That is also a very innovative thing. Lubricants comes in plastic containers. Me and Akshay boss was discussing with somebody, and we are establishing the recovery and recycling process, wherein we can use 50% of the material of lubricant for containers. We'll take it back and create the same container again out of that, and we are targeting the 50% conversion. And after that, rest of the thing we'll use in road construction. So multiple types of liquid hydrocarbons can also be generated out of the plastic. And that liquid hydrocarbon, if we can convert that, then we can use as a gas, or even you can use as LPG. Although at very small stage, although at very nascent stage, research stage, I agree. But definitely you will see one day down the line that your plastic is getting converted into your LPG, and the same LPG you are receiving at your home in the cylinder. So all these new parameters which are there, and with this I can say that yes, we can accommodate 14 million, 15 million. I am with this, I don't say that we should not reduce it. We try to reduce it. Definitely we'll try to reduce it. We try to find out some alternates. But yes, effectively, if we can use it wisely, then we can overcome the problem. We can win the war. Right now, the situation is we should use it wisely. Your collection, your recovery, your channelization, your recycling has to be perfect. And the very important part has to be monitored and audited. It should not be like that 100 kg is coming from some place. It is not going to landfill, as people are doing in construction and demolition, waste. If you call somebody that I want to, I want to remove my construction and demolition waste, he will take it up and he'll fill it with some other land, he will fill it with.
Right.
He will take all the malba from your house and kahin aur jaake dal dega. That monitoring has to be there, and that monitoring comes from and digital technology helps in that particular monitoring and auditing. So the movement of the trip and all the things, so that the operation can be optimized. It's a large operation. The last thing which I would like to say is we have to be regional. I was seeing your ad, Akramji. Everywhere you were talking about regional education, regional this. So we have to be regional in this. We have to be present at every place. If I'm collecting it from UP, I should not take it to MP. It should get recycled within the UP. So we have to be present omni-channel. So if we can do this, definitely I believe that yes, up to maximum extent will be able to overcome the problem.
Thank you पुनीत जी. बहुत ही कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली आपने बहुत सारे एस्पेक्ट्स को कवर किया. टोटल हमारे तीनों स्पीकर से जो 3 पॉइंट आया, मुझे मैं थोड़ा समराइज करूं, जो यूनाइटेड नेशन का भी एक थीम है. पहले तो हमें रिड्यूस करना है, जितना हम रिड्यूस कर सके प्लास्टिक यूज के उतना रिड्यूस करना है. और उनमें से जो शमीम जी कह रहे थे कि जो सिंगल प्लास्टिक यूज है उसको तो एकदम मर्सिलेसली रिड्यूस करना है. सो पहला है रिड्यूस, दूसरा है रीयूज, जितना हम रीयूज कर सके, और तीसरा है रिसाइकल. रिड्यूस और रीयूज करने के बाद अगर हमारा रिसाइकलिंग स्ट्रेटेजी सक्सेसफुल है, सो बहुत ही कामयाब बन सकता है हमारा. अच्छा, एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल दूं, ये बिल्कुल पॉसिबल है क्योंकि चाइना जो दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब माना जाता है, और जो टॉयज से लेके प्लास्टिक इक्विपमेंट्स बहुत ही अफोर्डेबल और सबसे चीपेस्ट रेट पे बनाता है. जो मुझे आज पता चला कि उसका एक बहुत बड़ा सीक्रेट है कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा चाइनीज जो टॉयज और जो प्लास्टिक ये बनती है वो रिसाइकिल प्लास्टिक से बनती है. क्योंकि चाइना ने पिछले कुछ सालों में कुछ डिकेडों में मैक्सिमम इन्वेस्ट किया है, टेक्नोलॉजी और इन्वेस्टमेंट लगाया है उन्होंने. तो इन्वेस्टमेंट और टेक्नोलॉजी की वजह से उन्होंने ऐसे कुछ निकाला कि उनकी जो रीयूज्ड जो प्लास्टिक बेसिकली ग्रेन्यूल्ड, वो वर्जिन प्लास्टिक के इक्विवेलेंट करते हैं अलग अलग चीजों को मैन्युफैक्चर करने के लिए. तो दैट गिव्स ए पिक्चर कि किस तरह से इंडिया अभी काफी हम उसी लाइन में है लेकिन काफी पीछे हैं. तो हम अगर इन्वेस्टमेंट और टेक्नोलॉजी पे इन्वेस्ट करें, ये दो पे ध्यान दिया जाए, तो कहीं ना कहीं एक दिन हम भी उस तरह से टेक्नोलॉजी अचीव कर पाएंगे जहां पे सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक को भी हम रीयूजेबल कुछ बना सकते हैं. जो अभी क्या फ्यूचर क्या है हम कुछ भी नहीं जानते, बट ए लॉट कैन बी एक्सप्लोर्ड. जस्ट लाइक आज हम स्पेस में जा रहे हैं हनीमून मनाने. सो आप फिर मैं क्लोजिंग रिमार्क्स के लिए शमीम जी के पास आऊंगा और फिर हम क्लोजिंग रिमार्क्स लेंगे 3 से 4 मिनट में. बहुत अच्छा डिस्कशन था. अब नाउ एट द पॉलिसी लेवल और इंडस्ट्री लेवल, क्योंकि अगर ये चीज को अचीव करना है, कोई एक पर्टिकुलर स्टेक होल्डर इसको अचीव नहीं कर सकते. हमें सारे स्टेक होल्डर, चाहे वो सरकार हो, और सरकार में भी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट्स हो और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स हो, इंडस्ट्री एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्लेयर है. इंडस्ट्री को क्योंकि आज के टाइम से फ्यूचर में कोई भी चीज अगर हम अचीव करना चाहें बिना इंडस्ट्री के एक्टिव पार्टिसिपेशन के पॉसिबल नहीं है. तीसरा इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेक होल्डर जो मैं मानता हूं वो है एकेडमिया, क्योंकि एकेडमिया हमारे फ्यूचर लीडर बनाते हैं. किस तरह से एकेडमिया को भी हम इन्वॉल्व करें और उनको हम फ्यूचर रेडी करें. तो फाइनल क्लोजिंग रिमार्क्स और आपका क्लोजिंग मैसेज क्या होगा हमारे व्यूअर्स के लिए, शमीम जी?
अक्रम जी, सबसे पहले तो आई वेरी थैंक्स टू पुनीत जी, जिन्होंने काफी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली बहुत कुछ बताया. एंड आई वांट दैट कि अगर हम पॉलिसी के लिए काम करें तो हमारा जो पहला स्टेप था, वी हैव हमारा जो अभी का जनरेशन है, इस जनरेशन में वी आर टीचिंग द पीपल्स कि हमें वो वेस्ट को गीला कचरा और सूखा कचरा, ड्राई वेस्ट एंड वेट वेस्ट पे हमने काम किया. नाउ द सेकंड स्टेप इज द डिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट एंड द नॉन डिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट. जैसा कि पुनीत जी ने बताया, हमें इस चीज का एक तरीके से इस चीज की जानकारी, इस चीज की नॉलेज ग्राउंड लेवल फ्रॉम द, लाइक पुनीत जी हैज सेड, सेग्रीगेशन फ्रॉम द सोर्स से ही सेग्रीगेट होकर के अगर आएगा then it is very much beneficial. I'm talking about I'm talking about one case. Recently, I have visited one of our recycler, Haridwar local, and what he is doing, he is collecting the plastic waste from the industries, from Shitkur, and he is reusing the plastic by manufacturing of the plastic buckets, the plastic containers, and we are living in Haridwar. And he knows well that in Haridwar, all the जितने भी श्रद्धालु आते हैं, they are using here a lot of buckets, plastic buckets for the collecting Ganga Jal. They are using in the Kumbh, in the Kamwad every year. So he is capturing 80% of the local market by reusing the plastic waste from the industries. So he's doing a very good job, and we have to support, we have to go forward for that kind of thing. And also policy की अगर बात करूं तो the two things what I want to focus here, like Puneet ji and Akshaya ji has told, that is segregation from the source and the knowledge of degradable and non-degradable waste. This is very much mandatory right now. The initial steps has to be taken by each of every citizen and each of every person, by our generation, by the next generation coming. It has to be injected in the DNA of the kids right now, because they are the future of the India. In the study, we are going forward for the new technology, for the things and all. But we have to consider for the kids, like the earphone what we are using now, this is also made up of plastic.
Yeah.
The tablet, the phone what we are using, the body is made up of plastic. And if we are using that plastic, this is our responsibility to safe disposal of that plastic. This is the point.
Very important and very pertinent message that you have conveyed. I'll come to Puneet ji and then Akshay ji will conclude. Puneet ji, your final remarks and final message.
So I would like to say that my earlier statement: reduce, reuse, recycle, and then monitor the process. That is very important. Monitor it closely, and then no plastic waste should re-enter the ecosystem. That should be the motto. No plastic waste should re-enter the ecosystem. That should be our motto at this point of time. Otherwise, we are not going to give anything to my next generation. I believe if we want to make this world better, then we are the right generation who can make the change. We at EcoEggs believe that we are the right generation who can change the world, who can give a better world to our next generation. So we have to responsibly, wisely use this plastic waste. If we want to use it, then as rightly said by Shameem ji, segregate it at source. One point here I would like to make: if I don't segregate, for example, your milk pouches, if you don't, what we used to do, we take the milk pouches and put chai patti in that. And that basically contaminate the whole plastic. I cannot extract anything out of that. So we should be responsible enough and defining and segregating it and handing it over to the guy who is taking it over. Then it has to go to recycle, no landfill, strict rules. And as far as policies are concerned, they should get the technology involvement in the whole process, so that monitoring and auditing can be done better.
Excellent. Thank you, Puneet ji, for the message. Now I'll come to Akshay ji. Akshay ji, your final comment, final remarks, and final message based on the discussion that we have today.
Yeah, very practical insight by Shameem ji, and very well explained by Puneet ji. My thinking, in addition to what we discussed today evening, is how do we scale it up? A. B, which is got a social impact. If you look at the bottom of the pyramid, we have rat pickers. And the very people who are day in, day out collecting from unhealthy, or dirty places, they need to be taken care, and there should be some kind of funds to be generated. and that can be done directly by urban local bodies. Government has come out with EPR. The government EPR policy says this EPR incentive, it's treated as an incentive. A recycler has been recycling for ages, he will keep on recycling to his business. But the EPR fund can be helpful to modernize his own technology. Can also be helpful for the rat pickers or related NGO who can really do a lot for their benefits. Third, most important, when we are talking about scalability, obviously digitization comes to mind. Where all we need to digitize? We need to digitize for capturing data from ULB level for grade of plastic to quantity of plastic to the transportation data in terms of invoices, lorry receipts, loading slips, e-way bills, so on and so forth, and the recycling certificate gets generated, which will give a single point information to government that how much in reality quantity of plastic either recycle or incinerated. So I do believe a lot of artificial intelligence based applications will come into market, and we are using one of those tools, and a blockchain kind of application also can build a very good repository for the benefits what a blockchain repository can give you. So going forward, I do believe the digitization will help to expand the reach of brands to help them collect and recycle their plastic what they are introducing to the society by more and more smaller recyclers and smaller waste collectors and smaller ULBs or rural municipality bodies, and that will really create a situation where in reality India can become plastic user. That's what I wanted to share. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Akshay ji. Thank you so much, Puneet ji and Shameem ji for sharing your valuable inputs on this subject. आज हम बात कर रहे थे सस्टेनेबिलिटी, और सस्टेनेबिलिटी ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है जो हमारे फ्यूचर जनरेशन, हम अक्सर समझ नहीं पाते हैं कि हमारे जैसे लोगों के लिए या हमारे देश के आम एक गांव में जो ये प्रोग्राम शायद देखते होंगे, गांव में से कोई अगर हमारे एक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, तो हमारा मैसेज ये है कि देखिए जो प्लास्टिक आप यूज कर रहे हैं, भले ही वो आप रोड पे कहीं फेंक दें, और लेकिन उसकी जो इम्पैक्ट है वो आगे आने वाले जनरेशन तक रहता है। तो इसीलिए ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी है, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि किस तरह से हम प्लास्टिक्स की सही तरह से इस्तेमाल करें, क्योंकि उसी से हमारे जो आने वाली पीढ़ी है वो सुख और शांति से जी सकते हैं, इकोनॉमिकली और हेल्थ वाइज भी। और हमारे तीन एक्सपर्ट बहुत बेहतरीन तरीके से एक्सप्लेन किए कि ये तो इंटीग्रल, प्लास्टिक यूज एक इंटीग्रल पार्ट है हमारे सिस्टम का। शायद हम इसको 100% रिजेक्ट नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन अक्षय जी जैसे बोले हम प्लास्टिक न्यूट्रल हो सकते हैं। प्लास्टिक न्यूट्रल का मतलब क्या हुआ कि जितना हम कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं उतना ही हम रिसाइकल कर रहे हैं, कोई एक्स्ट्रा हम नहीं कर रहे हैं। यानी जितना प्लास्टिक ऑलरेडी मार्केट में आ गया, इंडिया में आ गया है, अगर उसी को बार बार रिसाइकल करके हम यूज कर रहे हैं तो ये बहुत बड़ा सक्सेस बन सकता है हमारे देश के लिए। और अगर हमने ये कर दिया तो बहुत देश के लिए बहुत बड़ा एक अचीवमेंट होगा। और हमने कैसे डिस्कस किया, पुनीत जी ने और शामीम जी ने बताया कि कितना इनोवेटिव यूज है प्लास्टिक का जो ऑलरेडी हो रहा है, और अगर और बेहतर इन्वेस्टमेंट किया जाए, टेक्नोलॉजी लाया जाए, तो इससे भी हम बहुत आगे तक जा सकते हैं। जितना कंजम्पशन बढ़ेगा, यूसेज भी बढ़ेगा, और हमारे ITC जैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस और कंपनीज कितना बेहतरीन तरीके से इनोवेटिव प्रैक्टिसेस लाएंगे और बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस लाएंगे जो और बेहतरीन तरीके से प्लास्टिक के रीयूज और रिसाइकलिंग में हेल्प कर सकता है। और EcoEggs जैसे मॉडल जो पूरी डिजिटल, जैसे अक्षय जी ने बाद में लास्ट में 3 पॉइंट इंपॉर्टेंट बोले कि एक तो एक इनिशिएटिव को शुरू करना, दूसरी बात है उसको स्केल अप करना, क्योंकि इंडिया एक बहुत बड़ा कंट्री है, 135 करोड़ की एक आबादी वाला कंट्री। तो यहाँ अगर हम स्केल अप नहीं कर पाएंगे तो कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट माइक्रो लेवल में कितने भी सक्सेसफुल हो, पूरे देश में सक्सेसफुल करना उसको बहुत जरूरी है। और वहां पे आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, ब्लॉकचेन जैसे फ्यूचर टेक्नोलॉजीज बहुत अहम रोल प्ले कर सकता है। डिजिटाइजेशन, क्योंकि फ्यूचर डिजिटाइजेशन है, डिजिटाइजेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले कर सकता है। पॉलिसी टाइम्स जो कमिटेड हैं इस तरह से प्रोग्राम के लिए, अगर आप हमारे इस तरह से प्रोग्राम पसंद करते हैं तो जरूर सब्सक्राइब करें। और हम कमिटेड हैं कि इसी तरह से हमारे जैसे आज एक्सपर्ट थे, आगे भी हम एक्सपर्ट के साथ गुफ्तगू करेंगे किसी अलग मुद्दे पे, सस्टेनेबिलिटी का ही कोई अलग पहलू पे। थैंक यू, कीप वॉचिंग।